All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's a Tuesday morning. It's time for top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. We're gonna rock out with some music while we get this thing popping. It's Simple Things by Architect. Let's go ahead and get this top of the morning started, y'all. Let's go. You know what? Life is precious. Every moment contemplating the essence. Lessons from transgressions. Progression from adolescence. Document verified our blessings. And the first you gotta be present. Scrolling through the timeline, but they ain't get the message. Not meaning what they saying like it was auto-corrected. Acknowledge what you talking, but I ain't gotta respect it. Not always online, but always staying connected. Food for thought, the most important is breakfast. It's snakes in the grass, watch who you rap with. They take what they need and they make an exit. As quick as it came, as quick as it go. The type to get you all twisted. The show might stab you in the back, yet be calling you bro. All we ever really wanted was a simple things. Oh, not a lot, just a little of the simple things. Oh, from the bottom to the top, yeah, we made it. Never pay attention to the people that be hating. Only bad cause they ain't got the simple things. Oh, no tomorrow's not promised, so we live in the moment. Learn from the past, for that we steady making atonements. Hear the youth say we can't identify, beg to differ. Grew up in the era where you can never slip up. Lost too many friends to drugs, jail, and diabetes. Burn the L after L, then try to take it easy. Time keeps slipping, and history repetitive. We used to burn the chronic, now they tweaking on sedatives. Look before you leaping out the window. Trying to do the dance, but you don't even get the tempo. Professional, tell you fake it till you make it. Success coming, they start displaying their hatred. It's rules to the game, we stay dedicated. From the basement, no question, we elevated. And made changes for the best so the future look brighter. And keep the negativity out the cipher. All we ever really wanted was a simple things. Oh, not a lot, just a little of the simple things. Oh, from the bottom to the top, yeah, we made it. Never pay attention to the people that be hating. Only bad cause they ain't got the simple things. Oh, simple things. Simple things. Oh, simple things. Simple things. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. We are rocking here on top of the morning, the best morning show on the internet. Yours truly, Adul Ali, rocking with you on this Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday morning. I got to give a big shout out to everybody with the Mecklenburg County Republican Party. Big ups to the 12th Congressional District. Yours truly running for U.S. House District 12. You can visit aliforcongress.com to support the mission of improving our country and making sure that the 12th Congressional District actually has some representation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I sip my coffee, you know, I thank God sometimes, or all the time really, that we are in the country that we are in. There are so many places with such non-freedom that we just blessed to be in the greatest country on the planet Earth. And man, I think we need to take full advantage of that. So when we wake up, we do these morning shows, we get on, we talk with y'all, we get out and we go talk to voters, just because we know we live in the best country on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start off this morning. Okay, first of all, your girl Karine Jean-Pierre is big time mad, okay? Now, the reason she's big time mad, and let's just go to this clip first. We'll just do this clip first so that y'all can see what we're talking about here. Karine is big time angry because of the situation, how reporters are actually reporting on Biden's weakness. Let's just call it what it is. Y'all take a listen.
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or
a rash of videos that seem to have been edited to make the president look. If anybody knows about editing something to make something not look like what it is,
The Democrats know how to do that.
Really confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation.
Guys, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I have to stop her right in her tracks right there, because we are not talking about a president, and let's just call it what it is. I mean, there's some folks that say Biden, remember the not my president, Trump's not my president. There's some people who said Biden's not my president. I'm not one of those. Joe Biden is indeed the president. But we're not talking about somebody who does not have a history of this. Okay? This is not something that Biden isn't familiar with. Okay? Joe Biden has been lying to the American people for decades. Okay? Absolute decades. We have the proof of it. Okay? We have the proof that he's been lying to the American people for decades. Hold on. Let's hold on. Hold on. I'm just gonna go like this. Plagiarism speech. Because I wasn't gonna do this initially, but this is the kind of guy we're talking about right here. Okay. Hold on. Where's this video at? I'm gonna pull this up because you have it was in 1988. Okay. 1988 Joe Biden. Okay. There's a video. Okay. There's a video of Joe Biden literally lying. Okay. Here it goes. Share this tab. Here we go. Listen to this.
Where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think
I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to...
He was an asshole back then. Like, come on, y'all, look at this. This guy he was a
law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student.
All right, y'all got to understand, this is pre-internet days. So there was no real way for people in real time to fact check any of this. But this is the guy that has a long history. This is 1988.
In the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
If I could say one thing, I think just in my own opinion, I'm not questioning your IQ at all. I'm just saying that with the people that we have elected to office in recent years, I think that we have to question their credentials very solidly.
Well, I think you're right, Frank. But you know what I find kind of interesting? It seems to me if you can speak, you're at a liability in the Democratic Party anymore. It seems to me you've all become heartless technocrats. It seems to me that you forget that what happens is we have never as a party moved this nation by 14-point position papers and 9-point programs. It seems to me that when we got involved in the civil rights movement, Frank, nobody asked Martin Luther King what his legislative agenda was. He marched to change attitudes. When the women's movement started, it did not move with a constitutional amendment. They marched to change.
I'm curious. It's the one thing that makes me curious about this is how you got less hair then than you do now, Joe. But these aren't deep fake videos. The ones we're seeing with Biden looking lost and disheveled. This isn't a deep fake. This isn't fake. Look at the look on his face. You telling me that's the look of somebody that's all there? You telling me that's the look of somebody that's all there? Look how slow he had to put those glasses on. Look at that. You're telling me this is the picture of health, ladies and gentlemen? And then we have the video of Barack Obama. We played this yesterday. Barack Obama walking, having to direct Biden off the stage. And this is what Karine Jean-Pierre had to say about that. Listen to
There
this.
were two instances in recent days where leaders, former President Obama and Georgia Maloney of Italy, they physically put hands on the president to guide him and show him, give stage directions. Are they doing that on their own, or has anybody asked them to run the show like that?
First of all, let me spoke to the most recent, right? And as we saw on Saturday, President Obama's office put out a statement. So I would refer you to that statement about what was being accused.
We could believe Obama.
Accused in those by others, and he said this did not happen in the sense of what people were saying they were seeing, right, or what was being falsely reported that they were seeing. Let's not forget, President Obama, President Biden have a relationship. They are friends. They're like family to each other, and I think that's what you saw. You saw the president put it.
Exactly what we saw. Obama helping his old, feeble, mentally challenged, mentally, cognitively declined friend off the stage. That's exactly what we saw. You're not going to tell us we saw anything different. We saw an old, feeble man getting helped off the stage because he did not know clearly that it was over, that it was time to get off the stage. That's what we saw. I mean, y'all could tell me we saw something different. I mean, you could tell me, Obama could say you could try the Jedi mind trick and you didn't see what you thought you saw. Like, you could try that, but we know what we saw. We saw an old, feeble, cognitively declined, unable to figure out where he is, looks like he's suffering from late stages of dementia or Alzheimer's or something. This is what we saw. You're going to tell us this ain't what we saw when we clearly saw it with our own eyes? This is what we saw, ladies and gentlemen. And Karine Jean-Pierre, President Obama, look. Come on, man. That's not helping a friend off. Look how slow Obama has to walk. Look at this, the gait on the man. So these ain't cheap fake videos. What we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, what the American people are seeing with their own eyes is what we all know to be true, which is Joe Biden is cognitively declined. He is weak. He will probably not make it through another presidential term. God forbid he gets elected. But that's why Karine Jean-Pierre is big time mad, ladies and gentlemen. You're checking out Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. We're going to be right back here with another news story. We're going to talk about this pandering that's happening in Chicago. The Bling Bishop's going to prison. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. Country illegally cast a ballot. It takes the power of your vote away. Visit onlycitizens.vote to find out how you can contact your legislature and get them to pass a citizens-only voting amendment. Again, visit onlycitizens.vote and defend your right to vote. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back. You're rocking here on Top of the Morning. Best morning show on the internet. You're rocking with the dual Ali. As always, each and every Monday through Friday, right at 9 a.m. right here, we rock with you for Top of the Morning. Now, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very, very interesting times that we are in when you think about what's happening in our country, when you think about where we were just a little over 4 short years ago, where we were as a country with our economy, where we were in relation to race relations. The country was heading in the right direction. Is the country going in the right direction now, you ask? Probably not. What did the Democrats do? when they notice their grip is starting to slip on the black folks, what does the Democrat Party do, ladies and gentlemen? They whip out the reparations. That's right. We're starting to lose the black vote. Whip out the reparation machine. It's time for reparations. We need a black person of some repute to give us reparations. That's what will bring the country back, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the Democrats, the radical left, does when they feel the slipping of the grip on black voters. They whip out the reparations machine. And who this year did they use to whip out said reparations machine? None other than the mayor of Chicago. Now, the problem with this reparations argument that people are making, and wait till y'all hear this ridiculous, I don't know if this could be any more ridiculous. I don't know if this could be any,
Event downtown today as Mayor Johnson announcing plans for a reparations task force.
That group will study how policies have harmed.
For the record, listen clearly. If you're listening in Chicago, you're watching in Chicago, we have some folks from Chicago. Notice he didn't say he's giving you reparations. He's setting up a reparations task force.
Black Chicagoans in the past and present.
He does not talk like that. I'm sorry. That reporter just does not talk. That's weird, bro. That's like, why do they make reporters do that? But could y'all imagine seeing me? I talk regular like this, and then I get on the news and like, in today's news, the Chicagoans. Come on, bro.
And make a number of recommendations for remedies. Bear Shot says the latest on how Mayor Johnson wants to provide a remedy for the descendants of slavery and Jim Crow era oppression. Paris?
Yeah, Terrence and Sylvia, Chicago would become the second largest U.S. city after Los Angeles to study reparations for black residents. And Johnson's executive order begins with an apology on behalf of the city for the historical wrongs committed to black Chicagoans and their ancestors.
Reparations will be an investment in our neighborhoods and our people. Reparations will unlock the doors for prosperity to fully flow through the neighborhoods that have been disinvested in for decades.
He don't even believe that. You could look at his face and tell he doesn't even believe that. How would reparations restore the flow? How? Somebody give me something.
And as we grapple with the challenges and the hard-fought victories to get to this point, we must never forget our goal to make sure that reparations become a reality for black residents of this city.
So this executive order creates a reparations task force that will create a definition and framework for reparations, identify areas for restorative action like in housing, jobs, education, criminal justice. It'll conduct a comprehensive study of the harmful policies that have contributed to segregation and poverty in Chicago. So think about things like housing discrimination, redlining, and the construction of interstates that divided neighborhoods, etc. And finally, it will make recommendations to the mayor and city council for action. The mayor has pledged $500,000 for this effort in the current city budget. No word on whether the study will come up with a funding source to provide resources for reparations. 38th Ward Alderman Nick Sposato acknowledges the evils of slavery, but says he believes this task force is questionable.
Who divisive is going to divide us even more? By us, I'm saying the city, not the council. I don't know what the fairness about it would be. Of course, they didn't come out the report yet. Maybe the report will say no, it's not necessary, but I highly doubt that.
And 16.
All right, we're gonna reach out to Mr. Sposato, see if we can get him on the show. But folks, this is absolutely ridiculous and is pandering right before the election. You're gonna put $500,000. Now, who's gonna be on this task force? And why is this happening now? When all of the residents of the communities that are affected by the illegal aliens are coming in there, you throw out reparations as a way to kind of calm those people down. People aren't stupid, though. I don't think those people in Chicago are stupid. The ones that are going to fall for this, the ones that are going to go in for this are the same leftist Democrats that have run Chicago into the ground. And to study reparations for what? We all know slavery happened. We all know Jim Crow happened. We all know racism exists. we all know that there are people in systems in our country, in the prison system, in the education system, in industry. There are racist people everywhere. There are racist Democrats, there are racist Republicans, there are racist Christians, there are racist Muslims, there's racist everything. We don't need $500,000 to study that. And to what benefit to the entire city of Chicago? But then you have to ask this further question about this reparations thing before we take this last break. We got to ask this one question. If you're an Italian American, or if you're a Polish American, or if you're an Irish American, or if you're a Chinese or Japanese American, at what point do you get your reparations? At what point? Because it's a slippery slope. We had Japanese internment camps. The Japanese should get some reparations. The Chinese built the railroads and died in California and all that stuff. The Chinese folks should get some reparations. The Irish came here a large part as slaves. Y'all better start reading White Gold and all these books. So at what point does this reparations thing stop? It's untenable. It doesn't make any sense. It's not viable. And then furthermore, why would you give somebody some money from some people who didn't have anything to do? There's nobody in the city of Chicago alive today that was a slave. Might be alive during Jim Crow, but you weren't a slave. There's a difference. Give the people who were alive during Jim Crow some money. Sure. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you with that. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? We give the people who survived Jim Crow some money. I think they're all in their late 70s, early 80s. Okay, sure. But this idea that because my great-great-grandmother or my great-great-great-grandmother or my great-great-great-great-grandmother or grandfather or somebody in my family line experienced slavery, I'm due something for that is ridiculous. This is just not a tenable idea. It's pandering of the highest order. Ladies and gentlemen, you're rocking with us here on Top of the Morning. We'll be right back. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bling Bishop getting locked up. No shine for him. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. Y'all don't go nowhere. This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back. You're rocking here on Top of the Morning, the best internet morning show on the webs of it. Now, last thing we're going to talk about this morning. I don't know if y'all heard about this guy. They call him the Bling Bishop. Lamore Whitehead is his name. Lamore the Bishop Whitehead. Now, the good old bishop here, I don't understand it, but I do. Bishop Lamore Whitehead was a viral sensation. Cameras caught him getting robbed at gunpoint while he was on stage delivering a sermon at his church, the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Brooklyn, New York. Lost about $1 million in jewelry. Okay? Now, the interesting thing, right, is this is the bishop, though. Okay? This is the guy that y'all call a bishop. Okay, showing up in the Balenciaga and the Fendi and that was his thing, you know? And he would preach, basically he would preach, look at this. Would y'all look at this? Look at this. Come on now. You going to church with your, that's what Jesus had in mind, y'all. Balenciaga, okay? That's what Jesus had in mind when he said to go tend to the flock. I don't even know how much a Balenciaga suit cost. Okay, $3,390. Okay, all right. That now he probably had that one made because I don't see an actual Balenciaga on that. But here's the point. You have millions of followers on social media. Okay? Church in Brooklyn, New York. His past life as a scammer surfaced, including identity theft and grand larceny crimes that he did time for. And this recent case, he's been accused of bilking an LD parishioner out of $90,000. Okay? Now, the fact of the matter is, he'll spend 9 years behind bars for that charge, for the $90,000 scheming a retired nurse out of her $90,000 retirement fund. Okay, the 46-year-old leader was found guilty this March of 5 counts, including wire fraud, attempted extortion, and lying to the FBI, stemming from 3 separate schemes. Okay, they said he became notorious for his suits, drove a Rolls Royce while running the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Canarsie. He's been in custody since George Lorna G. Schofield revoked his bail in May. She admonished him at the time for making false statements about law enforcement officials and his victims on social media, and hit out at Whitehead again on Monday after he pleaded for her mercy. Okay? I don't see remorse for your conduct, said the judge, adding that he did not seem to appreciate the effect of his crimes or the basic facts of the case. Among the crimes, he was found guilty of conning Pauline Anderson, elderly single mom, out of $90,000. He promised to help her buy a house. Prosecutors said he spent the money on shopping sprees at Polo and Louis Vuitton and payments for a BMW. The victim's son eventually attempted to recoup the mother's money. Whitehead said in a text message he was asking God to exact vengeance upon the man. 2 other schemes targeted a money lending company and a Bronx businessman. Okay? But this is your guy. That's the Bishop guy. Prosecutors said the bishop drew up fake bank statements to secure a $250,000 loan, claiming he had millions in a company account that actually contained less than $6. He was accused of attempting to extort $5,000 from Brendan Belmonte, the owner of a Bronx auto body shop. They also alleged that he tried to convince Belmonte to lend him $500,000 and give him a stake in a real estate deal, insisting his connections to city officials could earn them favorable treatment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at this. This is Mayor Eric Adams' guy. Okay? This is the guy running around with Mayor Eric Adams. The Bling Bishop. That's Eric Adams' homeboy. And there's videos. You can see videos of him walking around town with Eric Adams. There was an argument in pre-sentencing that Whitehead was a career con man and liar who committed fraud for more than 20 years. They also claimed he abused his position as a religious leader to rake in millions, and noted that after his conviction in March, he tried to sell the legal documents from his case. Damn it, man, he's a hustler. He said, I'm going to try to sell so I have some money on my books. I'm going to sell the legal documents that are affiliated with my case. Then in court on Monday, Pauline Anderson teared up as she described how she spent a lifetime working to lose her retirement fund when she gave it to Whitehead. Her son Rashid was an acolyte who once went to his church. Okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. All right? If your church is in Canarsie, my dude, and you ain't a Roman Catholic or a Greek Orthodox, and you walking around like that, my dude, I'm not coming to your church. Y'all gotta know, something is wrong. If you got a church in Canarsie, bro, and your man pulls up in a Rolls Royce with a Balenciaga suit, wearing a Pope outfit, 9 years, Bling Bishop going to jail, as he rightfully should, ladies and gentlemen. You've been rocking here with Top of the Morning, the best morning show on the internet. Abdul Ali, as always, rocking with you. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button. Follow us on all social media, TUC Twins, TUconservative.com, the website to support our mission. I will see you out there on those Charlotte streets. Make sure you join us this Saturday. We're meeting up at Amelie's on Park Road, 9 a.m. for a day of action to support Stacey McGinn, Art McCullough, myself. Thanks again for rocking with us here on Top of the Morning. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about the Top of the Morning show here on the Urban Conservative. Y'all have a positive and productive Tuesday. Peace and love, y'all.
Doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.